Welcome back to another one of my day videos, y'all. And today we're going to talk about an archetype. So, out of the many people that I've talked with, to types of characters seen in literary books, to physical people described by experience of others in oral storytelling, the type that I find an interest in, or the character type, is called the spoiled girl archetype. But it's not like any spoiled girl. It's primarily the one that carries a pop culture stigma and what society would deem high maintenance, but not the type of high maintenance annoying girl that someone would see on social media. Maybe because of an expensive lifestyle or a fake expensive lifestyle for to cope with something else. And I've read and I've talked to many people who act like so on a lower scale. And I take an interest in this character type because, well, everybody's life story is different. And people avoid things for certain reasons. And in pop culture view, this person is pretty much high maintenance and costs quite a lot of, well, both emotional energy and maybe a bit of money because of underlying events such as something traumatic experienced, or maybe treated in a way that they would feel satisfied from that. And they're that type that is pretty annoying, and they answer very zesty at the question about that a person asks that they find annoying. But it's that type, it's not the zesty boy cheerleader, but rather, you are so annoying, this is why I'm acting zesty towards you. And it's a begrudging behavior, but to anything they don't like in a man, and makes everyone their servant, indirectly or directly. And I find this type amazing because for any writer, this is a gold mine to create a story with someone, say, who thinks completely differently, and it's going to create an interesting plot point. But from the bird's eye view, it reveals in the world out there how different people respond to their own situations. And someone can go pure stoic while others externalize it and act in the way that they think. And it's an example of how different cultures grow different people. And I find it sad then because this type is, well, doing it out of something that's missing on the inside, whether they're actually acting spoiled for the appearance or they're actually doing something else. Then again, society would put typical high maintenance girls labels on this girl. The masculine community would absolutely consume them online for their own gain, whether that's a comment section on TikTok or on YouTube. And I think another side of this type would also reveal is that paradoxically, once they really, really get to know someone and that it's not a trick, they would end up becoming fiercely protective and loving in private. It's beyond the physical, like appearance in front of others, and it's not my type of a philosophy of trust and love, and it's not the obvious vulnerability that others would see by a regular approach. But for anyone who's near this type of person and who knows it, it's a burning fire type of real trust and love. Like anyone who somehow knows them, whether it's related or not, and although they still put up their regular behavior, like the person is, I find it amazing because, well, many people are different, people respond to different things. But this type of, well, fierce love or trust, it's something that anyone can feel. Whether that's shown through jealousy, if that same friend that they have goes to talk to other people and they get jealous, that's still a form of love, but it's a one that expressed differently. And as a result of this, it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. In relationships, they might get in quite a lot of friction because, well, unlike the world they are in, there's many different types of people. Some expect them to be dominant, while others to be submissive. And some people want a traditional life. Someone wants a partying life. Some others want a middle. Without any clear expectations, they will get in a lot of relationship trouble, like a lot of friction, especially in friendships too. Just in that, especially if other people claim that they quote unquote haven't changed since high school. And if I was ever to face this archetype personally, I think out of all the paths that I could probably take from, if you think of it as a storyline, there's one where you could choose to be submissive completely and just do everything that they say. I think I would go the assertive path, and I would choose to assert my own boundaries. But since they do have their own worries, I would treat them kind of like a mirror version. They might be a little bit spoiled. Okay, sure, I might act a little bit annoying as a result. But since they have that soft side, well, I would treat them with that same soft side, but outside both of our own appearances to other people. And in that baseball metaphor, I mean, to put this further, fastballs would not work easy against this type of type. And it's not an easy, like, how's your day, or like the typical cold approach. I would use my own social cold approach, but I would have to use other riskier pitches that I haven't used, such as four seamers or change up, or such as a remark that is double sided to match their energy. But again, I mean, I also treat them someone to protect, but I am not sure how they'd be treated by other people. And again, there's a big world out there, and endings are pretty much different if you think of it as a story.